Hello and welcome to Mommom's story. Mommom, or Regina Stanger Fields, was my grandmother. She was a survivor of World War II and shared her story as part of the Shoah Foundation project. The Shoah Foundation was founded by Steven Spielberg after producing Schindler's List. In my grandmother's story, there is a lot of beauty, coincidences, survival, and luck. And at times, the story seems incredible, but it's her accurate and very real story. The story is also very scary because it recounts all the horrific events and tragedies that occurred to my family simply because we were Jewish. When I grew up in Northeast Pennsylvania, there were still a lot of first-generation Jewish survivors from the war. On Saturday mornings at temple, I would learn their stories. I remember Jack Silverman, the man who taught me my bar mitzvah, telling us about how he hid under the stairs while the concentration camps were being liquidated. I remember my grandmother's good friend, Meyer Adler, talking about how Stalin saved him by sending him to Siberia. As I grew up and moved away from Pennsylvania, I stopped hearing the stories because the generations that had experienced these horrors had dwindled. The reason my grandmother and so many others told their stories was to never forget. It wasn't easy for them to tell, and my grandmother never really spoke about it until after my grandfather passed, partially out of respect for his wishes, which we'll talk about in some deep detail during the video series. Mommom passed just before COVID hit in October of 2019. Our world constantly changes with incredible speed, and I see hate and fear rising since her death. We need to hear her story. We need to because it's a story about a 4'9" powerhouse of a woman who through luck, blessings, and chutzpah survived hate and fear and showed tremendous courage along the way. I've broken the 3+ hours of video up into individual questions and answers, and we'll be posting each individually along with some commentary. Additionally, if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments, and I'll try to address them. This is my grandmother's story. She shared it so that others could hear and learn from it. In Judaism, we have a tradition called Lador Vador, which means from generation to generation. It's how the Bible was initially recounted until it was written down. And I see this project as my retelling of the story because this happened to my family. And if I don't take the mantle of retelling what happened, then it will be forgotten. And it will happen again.